So they have silently sort of invaded and taken over the distribution and taken over the gang activities.
Right, and this is El Chapo's cartel that is now getting broken up. And as soon as you have more players, more violence is going to happen, especially against one another. And that's one of the reasons that the murder rate in Mexico has skyrocketed in the last 3 years.
Do you know who Ed Calderon? Have you ever followed Ed Manifesto on Instagram? He used to work for the government in Mexico and to fight off the cartels, and now he's made his way to America, and he just does a great job of highlighting all this stuff. But one of the things he was showing is they were using 50 caliber rifles to try to shoot down planes yesterday.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
I have.
I mean, what the fuck is going on over there? I mean, it seems like we concentrate so much on these conflicts that are happening all around the world, and there's a massive one happening in a place where we could walk to.
It's the disintegration of the Sinaloa cartel. So back in 2019, the Los Chapitos, I can't remember his name. I keep want to say Octavian. That's not it because that's a girl's name. Anyway, it begins with an O. He was captured in 2019. And they weren't able to get him out of town fast enough. So all of his homies basically got together with assault weapons and descended upon the police units that did it, and they were forced to let the guy go.
Yeah, I remember that.
This time, they were able to get him to the airport fast enough, and he's already in Mexico City. So there was a clash, but not nearly to the degree that we had a couple of years back.
Look at this here.
Oh, yeah. One of the things...
This is a guy shooting at airplanes, which is fucking bonkers. I mean, what kind of airplanes are those?
Those are probably civilian.
And why is he doing this?
We're seeing a change in heart of the administration in Mexico. Lopez Obrador, for the first couple of years of his presidency, followed what he called hugs, not drugs. The idea that if we don't bother the cartels, they'll just be nice. Yeah, so that didn't work out. And now he's taken a much more direct approach. And since most of the security services at the local level have been infiltrated by the cartels, he's tapped the military to do it. So the military is now taking active steps against the cartels. And if you are in a cartel, that means you need heavier weaponry to fight back. And that's why the 50 cals and things like them are starting to pop up a lot more.
And so what is the Mexican strategy in terms of utilizing the military and dealing with the cartels? What are they trying to do?
I would argue that the AMLO administration isn't to the point yet that they have a strategy, but they realize that the murder rate has reached the point that hugs, not drugs is no longer a viable option. And so they're trying to militarize the equation in the hopes that the Mexican military is more capable than this or that cartel. You can kind of break the cartel world into three groups. You've got Jalisco New Generation, the hyper-violent ones. You've got the Los Chapitos and the associated groups that are what's left of Sinaloa. They're the most capable ones for smuggling drugs. That's where the money is. And so that is where AMLO seems to be focusing his efforts. And then you've got what's left of the Zetas and the Gulf cartels, which is a very Twilight 2000 dog-eat-dog world out in eastern Mexico, which everyone's just kind of ignoring because it's not strategic. It's just violent. But it appears, and I don't want to oversell this because AMLO is clearly making this up as he goes, it appears that they think if they can put a pinch in the income, that maybe they can turn Sinaloa into the next Zetas and just break it apart. I don't think that's a very good plan, but it's better than what they've been doing for the last 2.5 years.